Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Home Lee 665 channel. I'm your host, Home Lee. And you might look at this blaster and have an inkling of what I'm going to talk about. You might also read the title and or the description of the video and have generally an idea. But last year, Wal-Mart came out with the BattleCamo series. As you can see, this blaster, the split strike, is painted on both sides. They're not painted on the inside, but in all honesty, that probably would rub off in putting this blaster together and taking it apart multiple times over the years. So it kind of makes sense not having that painted. But the split strike was one of the first blasters that they released. The other was everybody's favorite blaster, the Battle Scout. So you had a BattleCamo Battle Scout as a blaster that you could get along with the split strike. And as you can see today, for these blasters that I'm going to be showing off, I've got the 200 dart refill pack of the Adventure Force or Dart Zone waffle head darts. These darts are supposed to be pretty good. I've not had a chance to really test them out yet with anything, but for most blasters, at least as long as you're not using breech blasters, these should be some pretty good darts to use. Waffle heads generally have pretty good accuracy, and I think this was what, $15 or so at Walmart. I don't recall off the top of my head, but if you're needing some relatively accurate darts on short notice, can't wait for Litake or NF Strike to supply your needs, this is a pretty good deal for 200 darts. And you know, they say shoot up to 100 feet, but that would really depend on what blaster you're putting them in. I would imagine they could go further than that with some blasters. But I dug the split strike out of storage this morning just to kind of talk about the line a little bit as an intro. Tried to find my Battle Scout, could not find it. Yes, I have a BattleCamo Battle Scout, sort of, it's a BattleCamo Scout. But I mean, that makes it to where I own two Battle Scouts. I'm not hardly to the point of Beret, who has quite a number of them, but I do have two Battle Scouts, one in the Modulus line and one in the BattleCamo series. But I really like the look of the BattleCamo, the two color blue with the white and orange offsets. Those are really nice, and I'm here to tell you that I have basically purchased every blaster in the BattleCamo line now. I don't have my Fire Strike with me right now, but I have the Rough Cut, I've got the Strife, I've got the Split Strike, I've got the Battle Scout, and I'll do a little addendum to this video after I go get my Fire Strike. I'll show that off here in a little bit. But I liked the Rough Cut so much. I'm such a fan of the Rough Cut, I now have two. Actually, the reason that I went ahead and bought a second one was I bought the first Rough Cut, and something come up and I had to go back to Walmart the next day, and I got there and they had the Rough Cut on clearance. It was $5 off, which is, you know, rough cut price. Rough cut is one of my favorite elite blasters, just for the, you know, you can shoot 2 darts, you can shoot 1 dart, but you've got slam fire and various other things. Now, CJ Nerf, another channel that I follow, his BattleCamo rough cut had some firing issues. So I'm gonna load this up real quick and just kind of see if mine has anything wrong with it here. Trying to get a single trigger pull, and that's, with some rough cuts do better than others about firing just one. Man, I cannot get it to single fire, which, I mean, that's not what the rough cut's about anyway. You know, if you're using the rough cut, you're shotgunning, running and gunning, and such as that. So the idea of this is to try to put as many darts downrange as you possibly can. So, you know, the fact that I'm having a hard time getting it to single fire is not a deal breaker for me. Slam fire real quick. Mine's working pretty good, or this one. I don't know about the other one, but this is just $5 more than what a rough cut typically retails for, and the fact that you're getting paint on both sides, you know, that probably cost Nerf 5 cents, so they're charging us $5. I really like the look of that blaster and paint on both sides. And then this is one that a lot of people were excited for, but this has a rather hefty price tag for what it is. The BattleCamo Strife is retailing for about 40 bucks right now. Does have paint on both sides. Does have the proximity barrel from the Modulus line, and you've got a proximity barrel. You've got 10-round banana magazine, like come with the Modulus or potentially the Demolisher. You've got the Recon Mark II stock painted in orange, which the BattleCamo Scout had that as well. And I mean, overall, this is a pretty slick looking blaster. I will probably, I'm very tempted to put a vector kit on this. I'm not a huge fan of the vector kits, but in certain cases I do think they could improve the blaster a bit. Excuse me. So I'm thinking about putting possibly either the transparent blue or the orange vector kit on here. See how that goes. Still trying to decide on what stock I'm going to use. There's a couple of really nice ones out there, and I'm debating on what I'm going to do with this. I may keep it as a sleeper with the exception of the vector kit, or I'm toying with the idea of possibly, man, there's tape on this, possibly putting Krakens in this and going 3S and putting a expanded battery door on there and the whole 9 yards. Just kind of see how things go. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do with this particular one. I've got a couple ideas for some stripe builds in the works, which everybody does stripe builds. I might as well get in on it. It also comes with the modulus foregrip that was also in the CQR, CQB, C something something kit. And if I remember correctly, the kit with the proximity barrel and this foregrip, it may have had something else with it. I think you can get that kit for about $10 on Amazon. So, you know, that makes it to where, you know, the blaster and the stock are 30 bucks. You knock off 5 for the stock, you're paying 25 for a painted stripe, and then, you know, 15 or whatever for the accessories, which, you know, I'm not the hugest fan of this grip. You got a little wobble there with it. I like it a little better like this. It's a little more of a close quarters grip like that. But this is a slick looking blaster. You know, I'm not going to go over the performance of these things necessarily. I really like the BattleCamo line. You know, it was kind of funny. The people, when they came out with the BattleCamo Scout, they said, well, at least it's not costing, you know, $80 or $100 because you don't have that god awful camera with it, and it came with that Recon Mark II style stock. And so basically, you were getting rid of one accessory for another. You know, the split strike is what it is. Of course, you don't have any accessory rails or stock attachments or barrel attachment points or anything like that. The fire strike, as you'll see in a minute, comes with the dart holder. But, you know, some people talk about the cost that the BattleCamo series has compared to the same blasters in regular Elite paint. But in my opinion, you know, you're paying a little bit extra, you're getting paint on both sides of your blaster. A really nice paint scheme. A big fan of blue. As you guys may have seen, my go-to color scheme is blue and black. I've got some stuff cooking on that as well. But I really like the dark blue, light blue, white, and the orange accents that they put on these blasters. I mean, this is better than what I could do myself. I mean, granted, anybody could go out and buy this and like, ooh, hey, I've got a painted blaster now. But I think it's a really slick looking paint job. You know, the accessories, they are what they are. You know, you like them, you don't like them, whatever. But, you know, one of the things, this is keeping the strife in the environment, so to speak. Nerf's trying to capitalize off of its popularity. And I say they have a bunch of this extra crap sitting around in a warehouse somewhere on things that didn't sell. So they're packaging it with a popular blaster like the Strife, trying to move it out and get a little money out of it while they're at it. But it's a really nice paint scheme. It's a really nice color scheme. It's probably I won't say it's my favorite just yet. It's growing on me. I really like it. My favorite paint scheme of Nerf blasters ever is probably always going to be the whiteout. I was in the hobby then. I left the hobby a little while after the whiteout line came out. I regret that I only own one whiteout blaster, but the one whiteout blaster that I own is probably the one that is sort of iconic for everybody. Is the whiteout long strike. I really like it. I've got some plans for some stuff I'm going to try to do to it. May shove a retaliator in it or something like that. I'm going to keep it as pristine as possible, but I would like to make it updated and a little more usable. But I really love the whiteout scheme, but the BattleCamo scheme is way up there because they use blue, and blue is my favorite color. I mean, blue shirt. So, you know, that's, a lot of people complain about it, but, you know, if you don't want to pay for it, don't buy it. You know, nobody's making you. There will be sales, I guarantee, as we get closer to Christmas. There's going to be sales on those things. The prices are going to go down. You can go out and pick them up at cheaper. Eventually, they're going to be clearancing them out. Like I said, the rough cut was on clearance like 2 days after I know that Wal-Mart had them in stock. They had them on clearance. So, you know, that the rough cut is already on clearance at my Wal-Mart. It may be at yours, and you know, it's regular in-store rough cut price now for that. But you know, keep an eye out for clearances, sales, and things like that. You never know what you'll be able to pick up. I'm gonna bump on over to the footage of the fire strike now that I get it. All right, and we are back with BattleCamo Fire Strike. I apologize a little bit. Of course, you guys are going to get this video when you get it. I had actually meant to shoot a portion of the video with the Fire Strike yesterday when I shot the rest of my BattleCamo review and discussion, but I had some things come up and I was unable to get to it. But BattleCamo Fire Strike, I think, is probably overall the slickest looking blaster out of the BattleCamo line, the new BattleCamo line anyway. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's well balanced, it's nice, it's compact, it's got the dart holder. And this is something I thought about after I finished shooting last night that I'm going to point out here. The Fire Strike comes with 11 darts, which is enough to fill this dart holder, the barrel, and the 2 dart holders there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that will completely fill this blaster and the dart holder. The rough cut comes with 16 darts, which is enough to fill the blaster twice, but nowhere to store the darts. The BattleCamo Strife comes with 10 darts, which is enough to fill the magazine one time, which that's typical for Nerf to do. The problem that I have is sort of between this and the rough cut, and CJ Nerf alluded to it in his video on the BattleCamo rough cut, which that poor guy, I think he got a lemon. But this has the dart holder. It'll hold the darts. Comes with 11. You've got a place to store all the darts. The rough cut comes with enough darts to fill the blaster twice, but no extra storage of darts. So, you know, I think they should have thrown one of these in with the rough cut. I love having it with the Fire Strike, and I mean, for that matter, I could take this and put it on the rough cut, which would be likely for me to do if I do my BattleCamo loadout that I'm thinking about. But because, you know, this is a last ditch blaster, or I mean, a Fire Strike you can mod up pretty decent and get some very good ranges on it. You can get some super stock and ultra match performance out of one of these, depending on how much time and effort and, let's face it, money that you're willing to put into this. Chris Cartea has done some pretty awesome stuff with a fire strike in time. I know that's not what he's exactly known for, is not the fire strike, but he's done some pretty good stuff with the fire strike. Tiger Foam has done some pretty good things with the fire strike, and a lot of other people have. But I'm thinking this may be sort of a last ditch kind of blaster for the BattleCamo loadout if I put it together. I don't know. I may brash the barrel and up the spring a little bit and see how that goes. But the Fire Strike is a really nice little single shot pistol. I started into like actual nerfing around the time of the Night Finder, but I like the Fire Strike a little bit better. The form of it. The Night Finder has a nice handle on it, but it's kind of a large one. The Fire Strike, for the most part, fits my hand a little bit better. You know, the only thing is where you've got the priming hook down here that kind of distorts my pinky a little bit, whereas the Night Finder has a full-on grip. But the Fire Strike is the right size for me and what I've got as far as hand goes. But that's my look at the Fire Strike. Again, you know, I've given a shout out to a couple of Nerf YouTubers that I think deserve a little bit of a shout out. Go check them out. Links will be in the description. I'll also link probably CJ Nerf and Tiger Foam and Chris Cartea. Check them out if you're not familiar with them. Alright, you've seen the Fire Strike and its accessory rail. All of these blasters, I'm going to try to make a modified, slightly modified loadout, and you know, heck, I may even see if I can find me some Fat Man urban camo stuff to wear and do like a complete BattleCamo loadout and be like BattleCamo Man or something. But there's some cool looking blasters. Give them a look. A lot of people complain about the limited lines and the exclusive lines, and that's just Nerf trying to, you know, yeah, they're a business, they're out for money, that's what they do. But, you know, I really enjoy them. I enjoy things being a little bit different, and the limited runs, that's, like I said, I own all of the BattleCamo blasters now, and I have not opened any of the darts. Those are going to be limited run darts, so I'm trying to keep them in pristine condition. I mean, I'm just sort of a collector of things at heart, and that's where I go. But I really appreciate y'all tuning in. So we're getting close to 100 subscribers. Didn't really think I would get there at least that fast. I don't particularly care the number of subscribers I have. I'm not in this for the YouTube money. I'm not in this to try to get famous. I'm just doing this to put my opinion, my thoughts out there and kind of share them with people and connect with people. And I have done that. Wal-Mart kind of inspired me to reach out there and put my voice into things, because that was how he got started. Was, you know, he had a blaster that he really liked, the Fuse Fire, which is also one of my personal favorites, that was out of the Zombie Strike line and the Vortex line, kind of a combination. And a lot of people didn't give it the credit he felt it deserved, and so he started making videos. You know, he made a video to talk about the Fuse Fire and you know, put his opinion out there, and he started a channel. He got the ball rolling, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting my opinion out there, but I'm not trying to get anything out of this. But I have a little goal or surprise or something like that when we hit 100 subscribers, which we're relatively close. I'll do that. But I really appreciate the connections that I've made in this hobby. through this channel and through PhoneCon. I met some people at PhoneCon that were just really great people, really generous people. But I want to give a couple of shout outs here at the end of this video. One is going to be my buddy Broke Nerfin. He has commented on quite a few of my videos over the past, and we've kind of connected and talked, and we talk in other people's videos in the comment section. I talk in his, he talks in mine. Broke Nerfin is a great guy. He's out there in California, so there's probably not much of a chance that he and I will meet up, at least anytime soon, because both of us have budget circumstances that keep us from traveling great distances. Like, I'd love to go to Ragnarok Oktoberfest. You know, he's going to go whether, you know, he's able to compete or not, just kind of hang out and meet people. I went to Endwar, he couldn't make it out here, so, you know, but Broke Nerfin's a good guy. He's got a good channel he's building up. He does Nerf nights at a church in his area. He's a veteran, great guy. I recommend going and checking out his stuff. Maybe I should say Snoke Nerfin. I'll throw a Star Wars reference in there and then kind of reference how he begins his videos. But Broke Nerfin's a good guy, got a good channel going over there. And then another one, young man Nerf 23 from over the pond over in England. Young man's got a channel he started, and he's been cranking out stuff. There was a few days that he was putting out 2 or 3 videos at a time. You know, right now I think he's doing maybe a video every day or two, which I don't know what the British school system is like over there. He may be starting back or whatever, so he might not have as much time to make as many videos as what he was there for a little while. But he's got a good channel, and for a young man, he's got some good ideas, some good concepts of things. I'll have links to Broke Nerfin and Nerf 23 in the description below. Drop by, check them out, subscribe to him. Broke Nerfin is knocking on 1,000 subscribers. Let's get him up there and get him where he can start getting that sweet YouTube money, getting the whole 15 cents per 70,000 views or whatever. But, you know, let's get him over 1,000 subscribers. I'd like to try to help him out there and give him that little bit of a boost. This has been Homely 665. Thank you for stopping by. Keep flinging that phone.